What's up, Raging Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You're watching a Raging Nation show, Transformers 4 Edition. This is just a web series where we talk about all things that matter to me for production of the 4th installment of the live-action Transformers film franchise directed by Michael Bay. This is update number 98, and this is part 7 of the New York Toy Fair 2014 coverage exclusively at the Raging Nation. Now, New York Toy Fair is already done, but we're going to keep the conversation going just because there was a lot of material that was shown at Toy Fair. But before I do that, let's do a couple of really quick shout-out, and the first shout out goes to Baseball Kid 8701, who was my 2000th follower on Instagram. Thanks for the follow. And also I want to say thank you to Cool Boss 2008 on YouTube for posting this really cool video of Transformers Expo Malaysia 2014, which is to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Transformers. It was an event that took place in Malaysia for just a little bit over 2 weeks, from January 31st to February 16th, and I'm sure it was an amazing show. I checked out the video. It's really cool. Check it out on the description box below. I'm going to post a link right there. Moving on, we got to give birthday shoutouts, of course, and birthday shoutouts are for members of the Raging Nation who either had a birthday in the last couple of days or have a birthday coming up, and that would be for Cassidy, Lauren Meyer, Anthony Jones, 7 Alabama, Crimson Tide, Panda Boy, Chin Don, Slim, Goku, Elijah 2003, Giancarlo Steininger, Garyon Tidlaska, and Ultra Silas. Happy birthday to everybody here, and also I want to say a big happy belated birthday to Eitan, who has a girlfriend who baked him an awesome looking Autobot cake. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Alright, and I want to say what's up to a couple of Raging Nation fans from Sweden, Jay Thorberg, Andreas Odell, Oscarlson, and Epic Luck Faker. And I just want to say you guys put up a strong defense, and your team played really well, and I hope to see you guys again in Winter Olympics of 2018, where we shall meet again on the ice. All right, and finally I want to say a big congratulations to you and your beautiful wife Tiffany for having 9 years of awesomeness. And I'm gonna hopefully stick around to be there to congratulate you on your 10-year anniversary next year. All right, so congratulations to both of y'all, and there you have it. Anyways, we're done with the shout-outs, so let's talk about what's going on at Toy Fair 2014, and we're gonna start off with a couple of shots of these, I think they're PVC toys, and what we have here is Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, and here you can see I'm pretty sure that they're only like 3 inches tall, and they're not really articulated, but you get a closer look at what Optimus Prime and Bumblebee are gonna look like in Transformers Age of Extinction. Now you can see that Optimus Prime has a shield and a sword, and you can also see Bumblebee's his new 2014 mode in battle, and he's got this kind of a thing exploding out of the ground. But anyways, that's all very cool, but these aren't articulated toys, so they're kind of like display pieces, but at least you get a closer look at what Bumblebee and Optimus looks like. Not that we haven't had enough shots of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime already. Anyway, so moving on, let's show another promo shot of Bumblebee, but this time it's Bumblebee in his robot mode as a 1967 Camaro SS. Now, we've already seen what the car looks like. Now here's a very close look at what he looks like as a robot. Now, what's very interesting about this is that what I believe is that the 1967 Camaro SS car parts just replace the 2012 Camaro car parts as a robot. What I mean by that is that the robot skeleton, the infrastructure, and the whole overall look of it is really the same thing as the 2012 Camaro. All they did was replace the 2012 parts with the 1967 Camaro SS parts. I'm pretty sure the toy is the same. Is the same in terms of the transformation and where all the parts go. And you know, you have the doors sticking out on the sides, you know, in the back, and then the wheels are in the same place. The front of the car makes up the chest. A lot of it is the same. They just replaced the parts. Even the head is the same. So, you know, very interesting how they decided to go with that direction, but there should be at least a very good explanation for it in the movie. All right. Moving on, let's take a look at another closer look at another Autobot. And thanks to Rebellus for sending me this closer look at Crosshairs. Now, this is a promo piece to show off the Autobots. And what we see here is Crosshairs. And I'm you know, getting more and more. I have a bigger feeling that I'm really gonna like Crosshairs more and more. I mean, as I see more photos of him, I like him more and more, and I think that he's gonna end up being my favorite new Autobot in Transformers Age of Extinction, because he just looks really, really cool. The goggles, the double guns, the trench coat, and a cool car mode. I mean, he just looks terrific. All right, moving on, I have to say thank you to William for sharing with me this CG render of Lockdown. And we've never seen Lockdown in its his full clear robot mode from head to toe. Well, here we go. And what's very interesting about him is he's got this kind of like a blade a weapon on his arm, and we know that this is Lockdown because in the scene in the Super Bowl TV spot where Optimus is captured, you actually see a very quick shot of Lockdown's blade retracting back into his arm. So very, very cool to actually finally see a full body shot of Lockdown in his robot mode, because the Super Bowl TV spot, the closest thing we saw was really just his gun phase, which is from the chest up. So very, very cool. Thank you to William for sharing that with me. And moving on, now you guys know that I talked about this line of these weird toys called Nano Hex Bugs, and what they are these kind of funny looking devices that have weapon parts attached to them, and what they do is that they attack other Hex Bugs, which are characters of the movie. All right, you have Autobots, you have Decepticons, and those parts actually come off, and what you're supposed to do is you put them in the arena, and then they battle each other. All right, and apparently a lot of the characters from the movie have their own Hex Bug. Now they got Crosshairs, they got Drift, they got Bumblebee, they got Optimus Prime, Stinger, Galvatron, and Lockdown. But what I didn't show you is the Silver Knight Optimus Prime. Now check this out. He's completely silver, according to the toy. He's got a shield and he's got a sword, and he's got his new upgraded armor, just like the way you see him when he rides Grimlock in the Super Bowl TV spot. It's exactly the same way it looks, except that it's all silver. Now, whether he becomes actually full-on silver in the movie, I'm not too sure. Maybe this is just for the toy, but all we know is that they applied a name to this upgraded armor, and they're calling that Silver Knight Optimus Prime. Now, this is all very interesting because there's a Creo set which includes a Gold Knight Optimus Prime. Now, I'm not sure if that's just for the Creo set only, but this is, this is all coming together, that there's a new name for his new upgraded mode. So who knows where they're going with that. And if you really, really pay attention to the look, the whole aesthetic of the way he looks like a knight. All right, and that's why they're calling him Silver Knight Optimus Prime. You got the sword, you got the shield, you got the armor. And to top things off, if you take a really good look at the new Dinobots, they all look like they're wearing knight helmets, like medieval helmets, because they got that kind of a visor, and the helmet is just one piece, and there's no actual mouth, at least not on the deluxe Dinobots. So there's a really like a big dominant theme of knights, samurais, just medieval times, barbarians. If you look at Grimlock, he's a full-on barbarian, hand-to-hand weapons like shields and swords and like long like poles with spikes on them. You know what I'm saying? So there's this really big emphasis on the knight theme, knight and samurai theme. So very, very interesting to see where they're going with this. I'm really, really curious about it. All right. Now, regarding these, with regards to these Dinobot knight helmets, who knows if they're actually helmets? All right. Maybe they're removable, and then you see the actual Dinobot heads that actually talk. But as far as I know, these helmets could be like fixed, like they don't come off, and which means that without a mouth, they don't talk. All right. I mean, look at Bumblebee. Bumblebee doesn't even have a mouth. He spoke through the radio, and even when he spoke at the end of Transformers 2000, I mean the 2007, the first live action film, it just sounded like some recording, right? So. That's all very interesting. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Drift. Now, there's this promo photo of the Funko toys, okay? You got Optimus Prime, you got Bumblebee, but right in the middle here, you see a silhouette of Drift. You know it's Drift just because of the shape of the samurai helmet. But what it shows here is that it says Mystery Villain, okay? Mystery Villain. Now, why would it say Mystery Villain? We know Drift is part of the Autobots, but it says that it's a mystery villain. Now, something that you did not know about Drift is that he actually is kind of like Wheelie and Jetfire, where he used to be a Decepticon. He switched sides, and Drift is no different. Apparently, he used to be a Decepticon, and he switched sides over to the Autobots. And the big question is, does he do the side switching during the movie, or does he do it like before the movie and we don't even know about it? We just know about it as like a scene of exposition. For example, they just mentioned that he used to be a Decepticon, but they don't actually show the actual betrayal. All right, so who knows where they're going with that, but the fact is that he used to be Decepticon and he is now an Autobot. All right, so that's very interesting, and that could affect the story in some way, or not. Anyway, speaking of Drift, the last thing I want to talk about is a little bit of a theory. Now, we've been talking a lot about the gold face, and the fact that Drift has a very humanoid-looking face. In fact, the most humanoid-looking face out of all the characters, and it's mainly because it's so defined. You got the mouth, you got the nose, you got the eyes, and my theory is that they're going to have the whole liquid metal effect. For example, remember in iRobot, there's the robot named Sunny. He speaks, and you see that it just animates. His whole face just animates in CG, right? I was just thinking that maybe they're going to do that same effect for Drift, but a lot of people are also saying that, and this is just their theory, that the gold face is just a battle mask. You know, in a lot of samurai helmets, they also come with the metal mask to protect their face, right? So this could be no different, and in fact that the gold face is actually just a battle mask that'll come up, revealing his actual full-on robot face. So who knows where they're going with that? I mean, battle masks are is nothing new to the Transformers live action world. Bumblebee has one. Optimus Prime has one. So, Drift can have one too. So that's just the theory. But for me, I don't mind if they do the whole liquid metal effect, and I also don't mind if Drift does not speak at all. I really don't have a problem with that. I want Drift to be a character that speaks with his actions, just slicing and dicing Decepticons. And there you have it. That is my episode for today. That is my update for today, and update number 98, part 7 of the New York Toy Fair coverage. We're gonna do another update in part 8, where we're going to talk about spoilerish material. And what it's going to be is that there are some toys that reveal spoilers. So you might want to skip on that if you don't want to know what happens in the movie, but it definitely has spoilers. So stay tuned for episode 98 of the Transformers 4 coverage, and it is also part 8, of course, of the New York Toy Fair coverage. And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. If you want to talk about anything that I've talked about in this video, let me know what your thoughts and feelings are in the description box below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Raging Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Raging Nation, and check out my videos on Instagram at The Raging Nation. My name is Alex, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Course, the clear figure stand, which is very similar to the clear figure stand that the Figma one comes out with. Now, here's my big question, and that is,